Welcome, everyone, to another super edition of We Move with Super Eagles. This episode is a special edition for our fans back home. It's your program and special because we'll feature highlights of feedback and comments from MTN's social media fans on issues that have been raised on previous editions of We Move with Super Eagles. Remember, this program is proudly brought to you by MTN, the official communications partners of Nigeria's national teams, most especially the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We'll bring you the preparations of the Super Eagles for the tournament, which begins on January the 9th in Cameroon. And as always, my name is Tolu Shotade. I'm not doing this alone. As always, I've got the Queen of Freebies with me today. Are we answering questions or are we playing a game today?
Of course, I won't tell you, Tolu. You just have to wait till the end of the program to find out. I'm not telling you.
All right. We've got a brand new person on the show today. Bada Akiside Johnson isn't here. Instead, Biola Kazim joins us. And just before you know, we give away stuff on the show, but we don't actually get anything.
That's not good news.
We don't get anything.
Maybe I'll give Biola Kazim today.
But it's great to have you on the show, Biola.
Great to be here. I see you guys are having a lot of fun. I decided to come join in.
Oh, that's good. We'll get into the fun much later. We'll take a break. When we come back, there's a lot to talk about on We Move with Super Eagles. Remember, it's been a week of Ballon d'Or celebrations. We look at how the Africans fared in that one, especially the African players that will be at the African Fiesta. We'll take a break on We Move with Super Eagles. When we come back, we'll get into the thick of it. Stick around, don't go anywhere. Welcome back. It is still We Move with Super Eagles. Remember, it is proudly brought to you by MTN, the official communications partners of Nigeria's national teams, most especially our beloved Super Eagles of Nigeria. I've still got the guys here. And the topic that has dominated conversations all through the week has been the 2021 Ballon d'Or. There have been some Africans who've been nominated in the first 30 list, but didn't quite make it into the final 3. At the end of the day, Biola, it was Lionel Messi once again who picked up his 7th Ballon d'Or. But I think the worrying part is like for someone like Mohamed Salah of Egypt, who's finished 7th, Riyad Mahrez has finished 20th. Yeah. You don't feel like it's been such a bad year that someone like Salah would finish as far back as 7th.
Well, yes, but some will say that Cristiano Ronaldo, for all that he did, finished in 6th. It's a strange kind of year in the sense that, even someone like Lewandowski, who scored all of those goals as well, wasn't deemed good enough to go on and win the award. So from that perspective, we feel like Salah, making even the top 10, we will feel quite satisfied. It should be said as well that last season wasn't Salah's best season that we've seen. He's raised his standard so high that 31 goals, so to speak, in all 22 of them, I think, in the league, is not deemed spectacular, by his standards. It should be said, as well, that you see the Ballon d'Or has so many components. So football is just one of those components. PR, global, I would say, ability to generate conversations. There's a lot that go into it, and you always feel like there's a predisposition, so to speak, for players like Messi, maybe Ronaldo, Lewandowski as well, who should have won it last year, then win it, come to this year as well. So there are a few players who you would say, for many reasons, are a bit ahead of Mo Salah. Say 2 years ago, Mo Salah firmly in the conversation for Ballon d'Or. The way he started this season as well, you get the feeling that he will be finishing higher than 7th if he continues, with this pace. 11 league goals already, 6 in the Champions League. There's AFCON to come as well in January. Who knows? Messi won this mainly because he won Copa America.
The only African to ever win the Ballon d'Or is the current president of Liberia, George Weah. He did that in 1996. Yes. He never went to the FIFA World Tournament, and he also never went to the African fiesta. But the thing is, you look at Salah, and if the argument is that Lionel Messi won Copa America, if Salah goes and wins the African fiesta and has a decent season with Liverpool, probably finishes top scorer in the Premier League, then he should be awarded the Ballon d'Or next year.
What exactly are you saying? What do you mean by decent season? What has the seasons that Salah has had at Liverpool, is it not decent enough?
So
and
if he goes with that Egyptian team and they go on and win,
they will still not give him. He won't be given.
Actually, I think
he won't be given.
I think I will have a really strong shout. Of course, you don't imagine that it will be a shoe-in to go on and win, but I think that it will be in with a really, really strong shout. Look, so you will imagine that Messi, Ronaldo will always have, like I said, some level of predisposition by journalists.
Yes.
But Salah as well, as you know, is globally recognizable, he's likable. He plays for Liverpool, who might go deep in the Champions League. We don't know how far they might go. They are one of the favorites to go on and win the EPL. He scored 11 goals, a lot of those goals, unbelievable goals. So I think that half of it is what you do. Half of it as well is what Ronaldo and Messi go on and do in that year. You will have a spectacular year like Lewandowski had. If Messi or Ronaldo sort of like have a decent year and manage to win one of the major titles with either their club team or their national team, best believe they most likely will be favorites to win. But I think that Salah is, the most you can do is to be the best that you can be. Score the number of goals that he's scoring. You know, just perform really well and hope that Messi and Ronaldo don't come in as well.
And I think the very key thing with this award this year is the fact that Lionel Messi's only piece of silverware apart from the Spanish Cup, which is it's not something.
It can't be the reason you win it, but
it can't be the reason. It's probably down to winning a Copa America. The problem I do have, though, Ose, is the fact that the African Fiesta starts in January. There's a FIFA World Cup much later. And that could be where the actual conversation of who wins the next Ballon d'Or will come from.
Yeah, indeed. And like you said, the importance of global tournaments and continental tournaments, it sets you. It kind of gives you like the certain PR that Biola was talking about. And we don't have that many. We don't have that many recognizable. Apart from the African Fiesta, what else do we have?
That's the main thing.
That's like the only thing we have, right? And then we have the World Cup coming much later. And
so you have one full season.
The funny thing is, we don't even
football over
AFCON
by May.
Yep.
And then a new one starts.
New season. Yep.
So
and then you have the World Cup in December.
It almost feels like there's nothing you do at this African Fiesta in January because once the season is over, everyone seems to forget
There's one more thing you can do.
What's that?
Get Egypt to win the World Cup.
Oh, please.
That would be something. All right, let me just go with the guys in here and ask, Lionel Messi has won this trophy, obviously by the power of winning a Copa America. Like I asked you guys, if Salah does win the African Fiesta, do you think he's got a shout at becoming the best player in the world, winning the Ballon d'Or? Let me go with you, man.
Like, African tournament is not as well recognized as the likes of Copa America and the Euros that they play. So I think if he still practically wins it, they might not still give him based on the prediction that they have. That is the mindset that they have towards the African nation.
That's quite a good point, though. Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see if he does win it because it's still a really difficult tournament to win. Yeah. So, but one other thing is that there was another African, second best goalkeeper in the world, Edouard Mendy of Senegal, and he plays for Chelsea. It's a very bizarre season for him. Yep. I didn't know who he was 2 years ago. And all of a sudden, he's won the Champions League. Yep. Second best goalkeeper in the world.
Yep. And some even think he was in with a strong shout of being the best goalkeeper in the world. In fact, social media was agog with news of how he should have gone on.
Because with everything he has done for Chelsea, 16 clean sheets. What else are they looking for?
So it goes back to that argument around the Euros.
Absolutely.
Donnarumma.
Yeah, Donnarumma won the Euros.
Absolutely. Donnarumma was, I think it was the MVP of the Euros, right?
Yes, he was.
Exactly. So if you're a goalkeeper and you're MVP of the entire Euros, I think
because he's not particularly nailed on that number one shirt at PSG.
But also, it's a strange situation because when he plays, everyone knows that the Navas Donnarumma situation will play out in a way that Donnarumma will eventually be number one. And he showed more than enough, at the Euros, stopped a lot of penalties. Italy were on an absolute tear and he was the best player, in that Italy team. So, yes, to some extent, as an African, I thought that, Edward, should have gone on to win it. But he's had to also, begrudge Donnarumma.
All right, so we'll take a break. We've still got a lot to get to on We Move with Super Eagles. When we come back, we'll look at those players that we'll expect to see here on the African continent. But the big problem is their foreign clubs will not have their services for at least 3 weeks. Stick around, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
It's 6 o'clock in the morning, getting set for another day. Another chance to change my story. I believe in my hustle. I know be lazy person, but life is just a knock me boost. If it don't close, I go find another. If I fall down, I go try to recover. If it ever walk me, I know they bother. Cause I believe say I go surely prosper. You don't get that shit, won't be. We move. No matter what they say, we move.
Whatever life brings, we move. Turn up your dreams. MTN, everywhere you go.
Welcome back. We have had a lot of fun on the show so far, but there's still a lot to get to. It's still We Move with Super Eagles, Biola Kazim and Ose here with me. Every edition of Africa's biggest tournament always comes with something the coaches do not like to talk about, and it's the fact that top stars will be away from duty at their foreign clubs. Today, we look at the players who will be absent from duty as they come to showcase their talent on the African continent. And this is a very, they call it the club versus country row. It comes even worse because the African tournament is at a time where European clubs do not like.
Yep.
It's smack in the middle of the season. Let's start with Arsenal in the Premier League. There's Nicolas Pepe, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Thomas Partey, and Mohamed El Neni. Thomas Partey and Aubameyang straight away, they are starters. Yep. That's a big worry for Arsenal.
Absolutely, and even Nani is quite key, for Egypt. Nicolas Pepe, it's Nicolas Pepe. But, if you have European aspirations like Arsenal do, Pepe is their most expensive signing.
Yep.
Aubameyang is their highest, earner. So those are players you obviously will need, particularly because what happens in December and January is that these games come thick and fast. And you are turning over games every 4 days, injuries kicking. Don't forget as well that it's winter. So it's really, really difficult for managers, particularly at the top level, to compensate for the quality that they lose when
But you must admit that
continent.
The quality that African players bring to the table makes it almost impossible for you to ignore them. Even though you know they're going to be gone in January, you're still going to have to sign them.
Yeah, I think it's a huge testament to the quality and mentality of African players because, like you said, every other year, you're going to lose them for 30-odd days, a couple of weeks before the tournament itself. But you look at Mo Salah, for instance, for the slight disturbance of losing him maybe 3 weeks, once every 2 years, compared to the quality that he brings, Sadio Mane, the tireless running, the goals, the creativity for 2-3 weeks. So, like you said, I think it's a huge testament to African players, but I think that it can be helped as well by being ready and available for their clubs all year round, like players from Europe, and South America. And that's a conversation that's already been had on the African continent. This African tournament should actually have been held, I think, in the summer, earlier this year. But now it's gone back to January. So I'm sure in the coming years, this is something that will be happening.
Conversation will start again. Let's quickly run through some of the players that will be missing. For Aston Villa, that's the Zimbabwean Marvelous Nakamba, Bertrand Traore also in there, as well as if you go to Brighton, there's Ves Abisuma. For Brentford, there's the man who's broken into the Nigerian setup, Frank Onyeka. There's Tarek Fosu Henry, of course, Julian also in there. For Brighton, Ves Bissouma, very important.
Very key players.
Very
key players.
How do you lose a player like that?
Particularly if you are Brighton, because you do not have options to compensate. So Arsenal lose Aubameyang, there's Martinelli, there's Lacazette. Brighton lose Bissouma. Who do they have?
No one.
Exactly.
Maxwell Kone, the Ivorian, he just signed for Burnley. They'll lose him. He scored a lot of goals for them this season. But talk about Chelsea. I at some point thought Chelsea had a lot of African players, to be honest. And then I looked at them again, and they're just going to be losing Hakim Ziyech and Edward Mendy.
Hakim Ziyech hasn't even really been the best this season. So, if they're losing him, he hasn't played that many games this season, so they won't really feel him, let's be honest. But Edward Mendy, now that is someone that will be missed at Chelsea because when Edward Mendy is imposed, the defenders know that, okay, the back is secure. But
Kepa has not been bad, really.
I was going to say.
No, but Edward Mendy, no, but you cannot. Sebi will just say now, second best.
goalkeeper in the world.
My guy, you're in the spirit. So Edward Mendy definitely, and we will see it in the games that will be played in January. Chelsea just might be considering some goals.
Okay, we talked about Brighton being Brighton. Crystal Palace being Crystal Palace. Just look at the players they're going to be missing. Sheku Kouyaté will be away with Senegal. There's Jeffrey Schlupp for Ghana. On Jordan Ayew of Ghana, as well as Wilfred Zaha.
I mean,
those are 4 players that could change the game for them.
I mean, Zaha is the crystal in Palace. He's key to everything that they do. Jordan Ayew as well. So if you take away Zaha and Ayew, that literally is maybe 50% of their attacking, quality that they have going forward. And, like we said, for the bigger teams, quality all around. Chelsea, they lose Edouard Mendy, significant loss, but they can mitigate to some extent. With Kepa, you just have to hope that
the smaller teams, it's worse.
Absolutely. I mean, you look Sheku Kouyaté in the middle, is an absolute monster for Crystal Palace, right there. And even Jeffrey Schlupp comes off the bench, but, he's quite enigmatic, a lot of pace, a lot of energy, and gets on the end of some decent goals as well. So it's significant loss for Palace.
All right, let's move through then. Everton will have will lose Jean-Philippe Gbami. He's been injured for a long time. I hope he gets called up for the Ivorians at this African Fiesta. And of course, there's Alex Iwobi in there. But spirit thought for Leicester City. If Ademola Lookman finally decides to play for the Super Eagles, he'll be at the African tournament.
Senior man
Kels, Wilfred Ndidi. There's Namapis Mendy, who could play for Senegal. There's Daniel Amate. And thank goodness Zambia are not at the African Fiesta. They could have lost past in Dakar too.
Dakar as well. I mean, it's an entire... Leicester are about to lose. Even worse for them is that they haven't started the season like a house on fire. They've struggled badly, and they're sort of thing that they're just looking for some level of balance, some consistency in their performance. And if you are losing 5 players, Ndidi starts. Iheanacho, a key player for them. Mendy as well, a lot of his energy. I mean, if you have a squad of 25 players and you lose 5, no matter the quality level of these players, is a significant loss. When you lose key players like Wilfred Ndidi, like Mendy, like Iheanacho, for a team that has started so badly with huge aspirations, they'll be feeling more than anybody else. All
right, let's just talk about Manchester City very quickly. They've got Riyad Mahrez, and as well as Manchester United, who will be losing Eric Bailly, and Amadou Diallo, the youngster who doesn't particularly play for them. There's Moussa Djenepo of Mali for Southampton, as well as Mohamed Salisu, who is also heading to the African tournament. So, all in all, the Premier League will probably be one of those leagues that misses a lot of quality players going into this African tournament.
Yes. I mean, obviously. it goes without saying. And so, for instance, you look like a club like Watford, losing 4 players, all 4 Nigerians. We are happy to have them to come and, push our aspirations at the African, tournament forward. But, all of these clubs, and some of them might be a very heavy price. Almost, it feels like the kind of conversation...
Especially the clubs that are struggling.
Yeah, it looks like the kind of conversation that will never end. It might not be concluded, but it will never end. Every time the African tournament is on the horizon, you're going to have clubs, and obviously the countries need their best players, but the clubs also sign these players for huge amounts of money. In all, it should just be said that you look at the sheer number of African players who are playing in the biggest league in the world is a testament to, like I said again, the quality of these players, a huge advertisement as well for their quality, and more African players eventually will go on and join them. But this conversation definitely will never end.
It will never end. All right, so that's a look at the players who will be missing in action in club football while the African tournament is going on. So bad miss for the clubs, but for us, the fans who will be watching the African tournament, good news for us.
What's the difference between regular data and MTN data? I'll show you. With regular data, you get this. But with MTN data, you get moved right into the action like this. And this. And this. And this. With MTN data, you don't just get more, you experience more. Need loads of data to live your dream? Turn it up on MTN, the reliable data network.
still locked into We Move with Super Eagles, powered by MTN. Football analysis is done and dusted. Now we move to Game On, where our lovely audience get to play a very simple, I don't know if today's game is simple, but usually very simple game. And of course, upon completion of the task, get to win freebies, courtesy MTN. Give yourselves a round of applause. All right, so let's get right into it. Very simple, today's game. All you have to do is place the ball on the bottle. I remember a certain young man holding the bottle by the middle. No. From the bottom, you hold the bottle from the bottom. Okay, let me be nice. Middle. You hold the bottle from the middle, you find your way to the basket and toss it in. Are we ready? Very simple, right? Yeah. So are we ready? Yes! Are you ready? Yes! All right, so who's interested? Let's go. Who's interested? All right, let's go. Who else? Come on, guys, come on. It's really simple. I can do this with my eyes closed. I'll go with MTN. You put it on the yellow shirt, so let's go. All right, let's go very quickly. Let's go. All right, so I'll have you on the other side. Okay, so who gets to go first? I knew you all would say that. All right, the audience have spoken, so make it as steady as possible. Let's go. You can do this. Let's go. All right, let's go. Careful, or not so careful. All right, let's go. That's it. Let's go. You're almost there. Almost at the promised land. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see if you can replicate that. Let's go. All right, let's go. That's it. That's the promised land. Just make your way and toss it in. Or more. You must have really concentrated well in school. Let's go. Oh no! So Biola, you want to try? All right, so this is for you, courtesy MTN. What do you have to say to MTN?
I'm so happy winning this. I'm so nice to be here. Thank you, MTN.
All right, thank you. Make your way back to the screen. She's so cute. So with that, we have come to the end of the Game On segment. Remember, the fun doesn't end in the studio. You can follow the conversation across our social media platforms at MTNNG on Instagram and at MTN Nigeria on Facebook and YouTube. So Tolu, it's your turn. Come and take center stage and perform the task. Come on.
Yeah, right. On the days when there were easy tasks, Viola, we never, ever got called up. Now today, when you have to ferry a ball all the way there.
And when she has made it clear that we get no prizes.
We got no prizes? Nah, we'd rather not. Thank you very much, though, Ose. In case you're just joining us, though, you have missed a solid package. But you can watch a rerun. All you have to do, go to YouTube. That's at MTN Nigeria on YouTube to watch previous editions of We Move with Super Eagles, especially this one that is currently on right now. So, Biola, we had fun, haven't we?
Absolutely. Had a smashing time. Hope to be back here soon.
Yeah, and we look ahead to that African tournament that kicks off on January the 9th. So that's the much we can take on We Move with Super Eagles. Remember that it is proudly brought to you by MTN, the official communications partners of Nigeria's national teams, most especially the Super Eagles of Nigeria. My name is Tolu Shotade. We'll see you guys next time.
If you never walk me, I know they bother. Cause I believe, say, I go show the